This is happiness, to be everything at once. Be unblinded, be unlearned, be unbridled and unburned.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Mood Prep. My name is Dave Nixon, and today I'm actually going to pull apart a quote that Joe Rogan shared. He just did a repost from Box Cutter Pazzi. I don't know who that is, but it's a quote by Bukowski, and then after that it says factotum. I don't know what that is, so I'll be straight up. But if you go to Joe Rogan's Instagram, you'll see this quote as well. So I'm gonna share it with you, and then from there, I'm going to pull it apart a little bit. And maybe I'll do that this week. Maybe I'll share quotes with you or poems that I really like and pull it apart. Maybe if you don't like that stuff, then I don't know if we can be friends. That's where the magic is. Anyway, let's get started. So the quote reads, "If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, and maybe even your mind. It could mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. It could mean freezing on a park bench. It could mean jail. It could mean derision. It could mean mockery, isolation. Isolation is a gift. All the others are a test of your endurance, of how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it, despite rejection and the worst odds. And it'll be better than anything else you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. There is no other feeling like that. You will be alone with the gods, and the nights will flame with fire. You will ride life straight to perfect laughter. It's the only good fight there is." Bukowski. So, very good. I mean, I read that and I'm like, yeah, it's a mixture of words that I think are beautiful. It reminds me of a couple other poems, yes, but quotes that I quite like as well. But I think there's a lot of things that I speak about and speak to and definitely pull apart that, talk about why you shouldn't fight, even though I train that style, but more so understanding that to fight something is giving it strength. There's a whole interesting concept around that, but I think there's a lot of messages like this that is so powerful and meaningful for so many people at different stages of our lives, and I like this, even though parts of it I feel aren't really related to where I'm at and what I'm doing. I still think that there's such a beautiful, consistent message through that, which I'll pull apart a little bit in just a moment, that is beneficial for people to hear, and I think we need to hear more messages like that, because it turns this focus away from what will people think of me to, like, if I'm gonna do it, I fucking may as well do it, and not be worried if I'm gonna lose people along the way. And people are like, how can you just cut people out like that? And it's like, well, here's one of the things, and it's one of my points that I've written down to talk about, but like, it says here, you could be losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, and maybe even your mind, right? But you think about these things that you lose money, you might lose people, you might lose jobs, you might lose, a whole range of things, but people keep those things and really lose their purpose, right? They keep those things and they lose their gift, right? Because we're told that we should have those things throughout our whole life, right? Who are you without those things? Who are you if you don't have children? You're not a mother anymore. Then who are you? You're useless. So on and so forth, right? That's just one example. Athletes have it as well. Well, who am I if I can't compete? It's like, you're still the same person. We're not what we do things. That's one of the biggest things around it. And so losing people and losing circumstances and things on the way to being true to our true north, our purpose, so to speak, what pulls deeply from within us in areas that we can't explain. Like, you got a choice, because when you do that, you might lose girlfriends or boyfriends, but you'll gain men and women, and that's a different thing around it. Hey, big difference. So let's pull it apart. Stay the course. I mean, that's the first thing here. If you're going to try go all the way, it's stay the course. Like, back yourself to follow the process, to trust the process. Because trusting the process isn't about trusting the process, it's about trusting you to trust the process. That's the interesting thing. It's more to do with you than the process, right? It removes all doubt away from it. It's like, I don't trust the process. It's like, has it worked for someone else before? If the answer is no, then maybe it won't work. But If the answer is yes, it has, then it doesn't mean there's a certainty of it working. There never is. But you look at it the way it works for you, and it's a matter of whether you're going to work or not. So staying the course and going all the way is crucial. And that goes back to my 90-50 rule, right? That when you're 90% of the way, you're halfway done, right? You still got, when you're 90% done, you got 50% more to go. And that's in so many areas of our life. Like, finish it. Finish the course. Stay on it. And then it says, don't half-ass something just to say you tried. It was one of my other points around it. It's like, and I know I've done this before, and it's like, oh, look, I tried this and I tried that. It's like, did you commit? Did you truly commit? Like, left everything on the table, commit. I'm not asking what you've tried, I'm asking what you've committed to that didn't work. Right? There's a big difference. I've tried this, I've tried that. Yeah, that's great. Right. What are you willing to commit to? What is the outcome that you're willing to pen your life to? They're different questions. And the reason why they're different questions is because they pull deeper on us, rather than what are you willing to give a try. And that doesn't mean that question isn't worth flirting with or debating. It means that at some point that question has to transfer, has to evolve into this idea of what are you willing to sign over the hours of your life for? And think about that. Are you willing to just sign over, you tried so people could feel sorry for you? Is that how the makeup in your mind explains it? Think about it. That's why it's like, stop trying. No one cares when you try. Commit. If you commit and miss, that's fine. If you try and you hit, then that's one of the worst lessons we can learn. Lose things and people, or lose purpose in your gift is one of the points I made before. And I mean, even working with this podcast for me was going, hang on a second, what will these people think of me? And a lot of the time it was actually like peers in the same network. And then that thought almost stopped me from doing the things that I really felt compelled to do based on the potential judgment of other people. I was going to stop myself, and I have in the past, of making long-term positive impact on a large scale because of what some people, maybe in my industry, might think of me around the corner that will never fucking care about me. It's like, am I willing to let what a couple of people, their so-called negative comments, stop me from making positive change on a large scale? And this is where it goes back to the quote that I really like, which is, success is the magnitude of the beneficial footprint that you leave upon society. And that's something that really aligned. And so you've got to have a question at some point of, are you willing to lose people, or are you going to lose your purpose? What about this, right? Isolation is where magic is born. It talks about isolation in that quote. And a little while ago, I would have really struggled with that. I struggled a lot with isolation until I decided that it's probably what I needed. And it was quite fascinating that once I did that, it really allowed me to see things once again for what they were, but really see things for what they weren't. See when I was acting out of insecurity to either want company or, to make noise or to look at social media, whatever it might have been. But, I write here, isolation is where magic is born, but another way to say it, and there's two different ways to this sentence, the truth waits in the silence, or the truth can be found in the silence. When we are in silence, that's when the truth will arise. When it's loud and we're distracting ourselves, we're living a lie. That's the thing. People love the hustle and bustle and the go, 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 go. And it's like, yeah, you're working for a holiday, mate. Like it's and if they are, so what? That's great. If that speaks to their values. I'm not saying you shouldn't at all. What I'm getting at here is that this is one of the reasons why meditation and things like yoga are so crucial. And silence, any form of silence. Because we get to sit back and find our truth within that silence. Later on it goes, you'll be alone with the gods. You'll be alone with the gods, and the nights will flame with fire. Alone with the gods. What is that saying? It means you're not alone. So even when we go into the silence, into the isolation, we're not alone. Right? We're with the most powerful beings that have ever been. And this is interesting. I'm not coming from this idea that you're with Jesus and Muhammad and all that, and that's no offense to the people that follow those religions. It's more so going, the gods as in the powers of the universe, whatever that is, And what my deep belief is that you are a God. You're like a mini God. We're a collective God. When I'm hurting, you're hurting, and vice versa. And so that's where a collective love, or as Jungian Carl Jung was talking about, a collective unconscious, which is fascinating work, and some people hate that sort of tough stuff, but it's really quite fascinating work. But it's understanding that we're never alone, because we're connected to something significantly larger than what we can see, what we can think about, all that sort of stuff. It's significantly larger connected. And so when we are in that space, we realize that we have the power to choose what it is that we want to do with our life. It's like Ready Player One, mate. Like, the rules are set, but you can bend them. And you set the rules. That's a powerful thing, hey? So you're never alone, even when you're alone. And then the last thing, perfect laughter. Talked about moving into perfect laughter. And then it said the only fight worth living for. Well, to quote him correctly, you will ride straight to perfect laughter. It's the only good fight there is. And I found that quite interesting. I think, to me, that means that going into perfect laughter is that, like, mate, it's all a joke. Like, relax. Like, go after what it is that's calling you. But at the end of the day, if you don't laugh, if you don't see the for lack of a better term, the matrix for what it is, then you'll go through your whole life being serious. And, if you get serious, you get stupid. So the ability to move into perfect laughter means that we're actually able to enjoy our life while we're having this song called fight. Because it's the only good fight there is to continually allow ourselves to enjoy ourselves until we don't have a choice anymore. Team, thank you very much for tuning in. It's one a little bit longer than usual. I hope you found hope you found the podcast beneficial. And if you did find it beneficial, it would actually mean, just so you know, the world, which means a lot to me, if you pass it on to someone else that you think would also enjoy this. If you haven't already, then jump on Facebook, go to Facebook, and search Mood Prep Online. Otherwise, that's it. I'm out. Until tomorrow. Peace and pizza. Kick today in the dick. Slay the dragon. I'll see you soon.
Everything at once, be unblinded, be unlearned, be unbridled and unburned.